Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Welcome to Bhakti community. McKinney. We're going to be starting our program today. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Maybe I'll share my screen. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Sarglo Shri Prabhupada Gurudev.
Jai Gurudeva. Okay, we're just starting Mataji. Jai Radha Madhav. You guys want to sing? Okay. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jayo Gopi Jana Girivaradhari
Jaya Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की जय। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
All
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Vaisheshika Sadhikari Ki Namani
Namaste
Namo
Saraswati Devi
Prahesha
Gauranga
Prabhupada
Pracharine
Sarvaya
Nirvishesha
Nindivadi
Srinivadi
Prasthaya
Paschatya
Shastra
Devasthaya
Prajana Chodhine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namani
Namaste Saraswati Devi
Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paschatya Devasthaya. Hare Krishna. How's everyone doing? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So we have Sai Prabhu, Hare Krishna, but we have many new devotees who have just joined. I see Vishal here. We are missing few kids today.
Yeah, they were all at one place. They're all playing.
Okay.
Yeah, we all came to her house, so they're all playing.
Okay. Welcome. We also have Bhakti Priya Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna everybody.
Also, I want to introduce my mom, Renu. She's
Krishna Mataji.
Namaste.
And I have my kids here today, Vivan and Parth.
Hi.
Hare Krishna Vivan and Parth.
Hi.
How are you doing, Vishal? You doing okay, Vishal?
Good.
Okay, Haribol. Okay, so last week we basically did a little bit of overview of Bhagavad Gita and what was the scene, how the scene was set. We also spoke about how Arjuna was, on the battlefield, and he asked Krishna that please take me in the middle of the battlefield so I can see who has assembled here, right? And then we were reading a little bit about how Arjuna had lots of questions, right? So there were 5 reasons Arjuna gave to not fight. So who remembers any reason why Arjuna did not want to fight? Okay, I see Vishal, your hand is up. You can unmute, Vishal. Yes. So do you know any reason why Arjuna did not want to fight?
One reason is because because his dad is a brother to the king who his sons who Arjuna is fighting.
Right, very good. Yes.
So he doesn't want to hurt his relatives, and he doesn't, since they're good, he doesn't like blood everywhere and then bodies everywhere.
Very nice. Everyone, please give Vishal a nice round of applause. Yes. First reason was compassion. He had so much compassion for his relatives, for his brothers, his cousins, his grandfather, his guru. So he had a lot of compassion. Anybody else knows any other reason? There are four other reasons why he did not want to fight.
Doesn't want to be alone.
He did not want to enjoy alone. Yes, nice one. So he thought that he's now going to be alone. How would it be if you're all alone and you don't have family and friends, right? It's very lonely. So that was the second reason. His second reason, Vishal, I like your emoji. Yes. So that was the second reason, that he was feeling really, he was not feeling fulfilled. He thought that, how am I going to enjoy when, nobody is going to be here, right? Okay. Third reason. Third reason is he was fearful of sinful reactions. He was afraid that these, by committing this crime, by committing, this fight, he is going to have some fearful, sinful reactions. So he was fearful of that. The next one was he did not want to destroy the family traditions. Usually when all the male are dead, then the females are all alone, and then that destroys the family tradition. Nobody would be there to offer anything to your forefathers. So that was his concern. And the last one was he was indecisive. He was feeling indecisive that I don't know, Krishna, what to do, how to fight. So that's where we left off. So let me share my screen. And so we've been reading, and we are on the 6th chapter. But today what we'll do is we will do a quick overview of where we are, so that way everybody understands. So
A summary.
a summary, yes. So we are on Bhagavad Gita. If you have your Bhagavad Gita, you can open to chapter 2. And I will quickly give you an overview of what's happening in chapter 2. So in chapter 2, from verses 1 to 10, okay, till the 10th verse, Arjuna is still having further doubts. And then he actually surrenders to Krishna, right? He surrenders to Krishna and he says that, Krishna, you are my friend and you are I'm a devotee. I surrender to you, Krishna, and please help me understand, what I should do. Please instruct me, right? So till that time, Krishna was explaining everything to Arjuna as a friend. But in text 2.7, this is what he says. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So this is very, very important. Submissively, when we want to understand something, we have to submissively first surrender ourselves to a guru. And question might be asked that who is a guru, right? These days we have so many bogus gurus, right? So
What's that mean?
bogus is like not proper.
Bonafide.
Like they are showing that, we are a guru, but they're not
really
following all the principles later on. So it's very important that we understand who a right guru is.
Bonafide spiritual.
Yeah, and then we have to submissively hear from them. So the whole process is about hearing. We have to hear attentively from somebody, and that is what Arjuna is showing here. Arjuna is showing with this example that, Krishna, now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Okay. Then Krishna starts to explain. So chapter 2 is basically a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So it is one of the biggest chapters, and it's a complete summary. So now Krishna is going to try to give solutions to all the different 5 reasons which Arjuna gave, right, to fight. We know all the 5 reasons. So the first one he says is from verse number 11 to 30. So 11 to 30, he talks about jnana. He's giving him knowledge. Why you need to do your duty, which is to fight. So he first starts with telling him about the soul, right? That Arjuna, we are the soul, we are not this body. And everybody you're seeing around here is actually, the soul. And the body is anyway going to perish at some point. It is not eternal, it is temporary. So you don't have to, so then he talks about the soul, like all the importance about the soul. So, like for example here, right? For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being. So he's talking about the soul. Does not come into being, will not come into being. He's unborn, he's eternal, he's ever existing, primeval, he is not slain, right? Then he says, O Partha, how can a person who knows the soul is indestructible, eternal, and unborn cause anyone to kill? So he's explaining to Arjuna that, okay, so when we are the soul, then how somebody who is understanding this feel that, actually I'm killing somebody. We're not killing anybody, right? Because that person is always existing. Then he talks about the body. What is the body? Just like a person is putting on new garments. Every day we shower, we put on new clothes, and we give up our old clothes. Like, do we feel sad when we give up our old clothes? No. So same way, the material body is giving up the old and useless, the soul is giving up the old and useless material body and putting on a new body, right? That is the transmigration of the soul. Then Krishna talks about the soul. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon. It cannot be burned by fire. It cannot also be, moistened by water or by the wind. The soul is unbreakable, is insoluble, cannot be burned, cannot be dried. So these are all the qualities of the soul, right? It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable. So now we have come to section 31. So now from 31 to 38, he gives examples of karma kanda. Okay, so first he explained, the first point which Krishna explained was the soul, the concept of the soul and the body, that we are not this body, we are the soul. That is the first point. And then he explains what is the soul, how the soul is never born, it's indestructible. And somebody who understands, that we are actually the soul, they don't care about the body anymore because it is like a dress. You remove the dress, and then you have to wear a new dress, right? Next.
Or like a watch.
Yes.
T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's all destructible. It all destructs. Correct.
But the soul never destructs.
Correct. Exactly. So now we come to this point about karma kanda. So now he is giving another reason for karma kanda, that we have to do our prescribed duty. So from 31 to 38, Krishna is now explaining from a different point of view, that now you consider yourself a Kshatriya. If you're still not convinced, Arjuna, that you should fight, now you think that you're a Kshatriya. Now, what is the purpose of a Kshatriya? Kshatriyas are actually very happy when they get these fighting opportunities, right? We know from our history that Kshatriyas are just waiting to get a chance to fight, right? And why? Because if they die on the battlefield, then the doors of the heavenly planets, they open up, right? And if you don't fight, Krishna is saying, then actually you're going to incur sin by neglecting your duties. Yeah. And then everybody will say, oh, he has lost his reputation as a fighter. He's a coward. He just ran away from the battlefield. He ran away. So, and then that is even worse for a Kshatriya, right? Yeah. When if somebody says something,
like to lose honor.
Correct. Like if somebody describes in unkind words, that will be more painful for you. Give me an example of somebody who had this. He did not die, but still it was very painful for him.
Oh, I forgot his name. It was the person who got his head shaved, right?
Head shaved, I was not thinking of that, but that's a good example. Jayadratha.
Oh yeah, Jayadratha. It fell on his father. His head fell on his father's head. He had like a boon that wherever his head falls,
that person will also die.
And then their head will explode into millions of pieces.
So that was one example. The other example is Ashwatthama. What happened to Ashwatthama?
Oh, he got the verse that he'll keep walking around until this Kali Yuga age goes away,
And his
then,
money was taken
yeah,
out.
and his
Right?
money was taken.
So this is what Krishna is explaining. Krishna is explaining that actually, Arjuna, this is going to be even more worse for you. If you run away from the battlefield, people will start talking so many bad things about you. That will be more painful for you, right? So that was the second reason. First was he gave intelligence and jnana that we are the soul, we are not this body. Second, he explained about do your work because you are a Kshatriya. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So then we'll go to the next section. Now Krishna explains from 39 to 53. He is talking about Buddhi Yoga. That why we should fight but without any reaction. So now he's talking about how somebody needs to fight with knowledge of jnana, that actually we all have to do our duty, but we should be detached from the fruit of the work.
Because Krishna and you should just do your duty and then be detached from the results. So then later on you don't like acquire that many like material desires.
Right. Yes, exactly. That's the point. The point is that and in India we all know that very famous verse, right? Do your duty and don't worry about the fruits, right? So this was the section in which Krishna is explaining that part. So now he's giving another reason why it's important for you to do your duty, which is to fight as a Kshatriya. And you want to do your duty without thinking about the fruit of your work.
Being detached from
being detached from the fruit of the work. Okay, so that was the Buddhi Yoga section. The last section is about from 54 to 72. So from 54 all the way to 72, which is the end of chapter 2, he talks about somebody who is Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya means completely fixed. No matter what happens in your life, happiness or distress, heat or cold, summer or winter.
Autumn or fall.
Same thing. Autumn or spring.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, this person is always fixed.
Like if something good happens to him, he won't be like, yay. And if something bad happens to him, then he won't be like, oh no, this happened.
Right. He's always fixed because he knows that he is working in Buddhi Yoga and he is completely materially detached. He's equipoised in his platform of liberation. So why Krishna gives this example? He gives this example because a person who is fixed, Sthita Pragya, he has tikshava, he's tolerating everything. Like whatever is coming to him, he's just tolerating. But he is very fixed because he knows everything around me is temporary. It's all going to go away. I'm just here to do my duty. I'm going to do my duty, keeping Krishna in the center and keep moving on. Whatever has to come, good things will come. Whatever bad things have to come, it will come.
On Krishna's will.
Yes, on Krishna's plan, and I'm going to keep moving forward. So that was chapter 2. Okay, so now chapter 3. So now Krishna has given the full summary. Okay, so now the one important thing what we should remember is Bhagavad Gita was not where Krishna was just speaking and Arjuna was hearing, but it was a dialogue.
It's like a
conversation. There was questions and there were answers. So in spiritual, as we are on this devotional path, it's very important to ask questions. We need to inquire. So then Arjuna here first asks this question. What is his question? Can you read, Vivan? What is his question here? First.
Arjuna said, "O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruit of work?"
So Krishna actually told, right? Intelligence of knowing that you are the soul, not this body, knowledge, right? Knowledge is, if you think knowledge is so important, then why are you telling me to do this fruitive work?
Why are you even telling me to fight?
Is this a valid question?
become a sannyasi. I'm done.
Right? That was his question. He was like, okay, I'll go to the forest,
sit down,
sit and meditate, I'll get my knowledge and I'm done.
Yeah.
So now Arjuna is confused. Arjuna is bewildered
Oh yeah.
by his instructions. Therefore, he's saying, now you please instruct me what is most beneficial to me. Right? So Arjuna is asking here, is it better for me to be situated in knowledge or to work? Because he's thinking that both of them are separate. So now Krishna is going to explain how working in keeping Krishna in the center, whatever your duty is, wherever we are, whatever duty we are doing, responsibilities we have, when we keep Krishna in the center, that itself will give you knowledge. Arjuna was thinking that there is difference between the two. So from section verses 3 to 9, Krishna is going to explain about Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, what is Nishkam Karma Yoga? Nishkam Karma Yoga is work which is combined with knowledge and detachment. Work which is combined with knowledge and detachment.
So
knowledge.
Doing your duty with getting knowledge and detached from the result.
From the fruitive work. Correct, exactly. So you are detached from your fruitive activities. So let's say you are studying for an exam. Okay, you're studying for an exam and you feel like I have to get 100%. Is that okay or not okay?
Okay.
Not okay. Because now you're connected to the results.
You just do your work and then leave the result to Krishna.
Yes. But is it okay not to study? Like, oh, no. Krishna will take care anyway. No. You still have to work very hard because that is your duty as a student.
Yeah.
Okay. But knowing that you're doing this, because Krishna has put you in this position right now. Right? Like as a father, if I say, oh, Krishna will provide, I can just sleep. That's not okay, right? I have to take care of both of you, right? So that's the most important. So working, if somebody says, oh, okay, I'm in Krishna consciousness, now I'm not going to do any work, I'm just going to take samadhi. Yeah, I'm going to take sannyas and that's it, I'm done. No, that is not Krishna consciousness.
Sannyas, I think in Bhagavad Gita he says that sannyas is even if you do your work properly and not detached from the result, it's like that person took sannyas.
Correct, exactly. That's what
it's like Prabhupada. Like he took sannyas so he could preach books.
Like he didn't just take sannyas and sit back.
Correct.
He just took sannyas and he still was on his guru's mission.
So one question here for everyone. What was Arjuna supposed to do before Bhagavad Gita? Bhakti Priya Mataji. What was Arjuna's responsibility to do before he heard Bhagavad Gita?
He is supposed to fight because he's a Kshatriya.
Okay. And next question to Pranav. Are you ready, Pranav? Here comes the next question. So after he heard the Bhagavad Gita, Haribol, after he heard the Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna?
Wait, what did Arjuna do after the battle?
No. After he heard Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna do?
He got enlightened and he got the courage to fight the battle.
Nice, very good. He actually got the courage. He got the courage to fight. So the main thing to remember is before Bhagavad Gita and after Bhagavad Gita,
he still had to fight.
Did the same activity. What changed was his consciousness in which he did this activity.
He was thinking of Krishna the full time.
Yes. Earlier he was thinking that he's fighting for his sense pleasure. Oh, I'm going to get this
kingdom.
I'm going to get this kingdom. I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to, be with all these people, or all these people are not going to be there. But now after Krishna consciousness, after Bhagavad Gita, he still fought, but thinking that is his duty, not worrying about the results. Okay, so that is Nishkam Karma Yoga. So Nishkam Karma Yoga is work which is combined with knowledge and detachment. and he's offering the fruit of the work for the satisfaction of Krishna.
So he's offering the result to Krishna.
Correct. And he allows the soul to be purified through detached activities. Okay, so that is the first section of chapter 3, from 3 to 9. Then from 10 to 16, Krishna is now explaining how somebody can move from karma kanda to karma yoga. So karma kanda is somebody who is doing activities for material sense pleasure. Now let's take example of both of you Matajis who are sitting together. So you both like we are cooking food, right? Now how the same process of cooking food can change from sense pleasure to karma yoga,
Devotional.
to devotional service. Any ideas?
I know one.
The way we cook with the heart, heart,
Nice.
all involvement and
Thinking.
What is that? One more time.
thinking of the God and the involvement, and cook with the heart, not with the hand.
Nice. Yes, Mataji. So that is the difference. You're doing the same activity, but the consciousness in which you do this activity, you are changing. So that is called karma kanda to karma yoga. So when you actually are doing it for Krishna's pleasure, like we are actually going to cook some bhoga, offer it to Krishna, and then we take that as prasad. Then that becomes karma yoga. So that is actually devotional activity. But
What
when
does
you
karma kanda mean?
karma kanda is like, oh, I want to eat a gulab jamun, I'm going to go and pop it in. But if you actually first offer it to Krishna, then have prasad, that is the difference. That's the consciousness in which you have changed.
So I was saying, after you're done thinking about Krishna and you're cooking, then you can offer it to Krishna.
Correct.
And you can also put a little tea leaf.
Yes, Krishna always accepts with tulsi leaf. Okay, so then let's move to the next section. So this is from 317 all the way to 335. Okay.
Oh, that's a long section.
17 to 35. Now Krishna is explaining Nishkam Karma Yoga to set the correct example. So now he's saying, why is it important for somebody to act without attachment? And he's giving a lot of examples for others. He also gives his example that he doesn't have to work. Krishna doesn't have to do any work. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet he comes down to show with this example how somebody should do that work. And then he gives many, many examples. He gives examples of Ambrish Maharaj. He gives examples of Janak Maharaj. In this section, he gives all those examples. Why is it important to set the correct example? And there's a very nice section for all of us. So here is talking about Janak Maharaj. Kings like Janak, they prescribed their duties. And why he did that? Because sake for educating. This is very, very important for us. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So that's why Krishna came down to give the right example. That's why as parents, we should always try to set the right example. Because when we set the right example, our kids learn more from our actions than our words.
And will follow.
And they will follow. So this is very important, very important point which Krishna explains in this section. That Nishkam Karma Yoga, to set a correct example. Then the last section, 36 to 43, right? The last part. Now Krishna is explaining about to Arjuna why we should beware of lust and anger, and what is lust and what is anger. So, in Arjuna's case, the lust was lust is anything which you are doing for your own sense pleasure. that is lust. Okay, like let us say if you want to do something which is giving, sense pleasure, that becomes lust.
Sense gratification.
Sense gratification. So example of Arjuna having lust was, I just want to be able to enjoy this kingdom, right? So that would be lust. So Krishna is now explaining the difference between lust and anger. He explains how from lust, anger comes. So let us say now somebody wants to eat pizza, but you're not getting pizza. So what's going to happen? You will become angry in your mind. When anger comes, from that, delusion comes. They will start thinking, oh, this person doesn't love me. They don't want to cook for me. They don't want to give me pizza. From then, bewilderment happens. Once bewilderment happens, then you have loss of intelligence and then you fall down. So Krishna explains this whole process in this section from 36 to 43, how somebody goes from lust to anger to delusion to bewilderment to loss of intelligence, and from loss of intelligence you have a fall down. And then Arjuna actually asks, okay, so where is this lust? Where is this lust situated? Because we need to know the enemy. Like, where is this enemy situated? So then we can attack the enemy, right? So then Krishna also explains where is this enemy situated. He says the enemy is situated in our material senses. What are our material senses?
Mouth,
No,
taste,
taste,
smell, touch, taste, smell, touch, see,
hearing.
hear.
Correct. 5 things, right? So that is the senses. It's in the senses. Then it's in our mind
And intelligence.
in our intelligence, right? So
And ego.
then he explains
And
how,
ego.
and then he explains how we can regulate our senses and strengthen our intelligence to control the lust. So this is the chapter 3. So now in chapter 4, how's everyone doing? Any questions so far? Okay, so we'll continue. Maybe I don't think we will have time to cover 4 and 5 today, 4, 5, and 6. We'll just do 4 today. So in chapter 4, now Krishna is explaining this little bit we read last time in the introduction, that Krishna is now giving the like how Bhagavad Gita is actually coming, and it is not the first time Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. He's saying that this was already instructed by me to the sun god. Yeah, long back I have already instructed that disciplic succession got broken down. So I'm again coming now to explain to you, because you, Arjuna, are my friend and my devotee. That's why I've come to explain to you.
Even in this Bhagavad Gita, the disciplic succession is here.
Correct. So in text 3, he says, right? Krishna is saying here that, oh Arjuna, I've come down here because you are my devotee as well as my friend.
Yeah.
So this is.
So it goes to Krishna, to Brahma, to Narada, to Vyasa, and then all these are
All the disciplic succession.
To A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, yes.
So he's the, why is he the last?
Okay. Yes, Vishal, you have a
Because
question?
from all these people, it got passed on from his Guru Maharaj to him.
What does transcendental mean?
One more time.
What does transcendental mean?
That's transcendental. Let us ask Bhakti Priya Mataji. Mataji, can you help answer this question?
Transcendental means, to my understanding, it is beyond the 3 modes of material nature. So in the 3 modes of material nature, there is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So when one comes to pure goodness, that is transcendental. So we have to get past ignorance, passion, and goodness and reach to pure goodness. This is, I don't know how to explain to children, Prabhuji, but this is my.
Does that help a little bit, Vishal? It's a correct answer.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay, so let's try to break it down. Why
don't we look at the definition?
What is mode of? Yeah, we can do that. Good idea.
Transcendental.
Transcendental. Do you want to read and tell us, Vishal?
Huh? Relating to a spiritual or non-physical realm.
Relating to a spiritual or non-physical realm. So what is a physical realm?
It's
What is-
where it's where we are talking, where we are
Nice.
the Zoom, and where we can hold things, and we're not ghosts.
Nice.
And
So that,
we have
very good, very good. So that is the physical realm. So we are all sitting on the physical realm. So transcendental means something which is relating to spiritual or the non-physical realm. So here transcendental means where
Spiritual.
so there are two worlds. So let me explain a little bit. So there are two worlds. There's a material world,
Which we are right now.
yeah, and then there's a spiritual world. Okay. Now the spiritual world is always existing. Okay, it never completes, it never annihilates. But the material world is temporary. Okay, so after some time, this material world is going to annihilate, and then again the material world will come back. Okay,
Manifest and unmanifest.
yes, manifest and unmanifest. So it is not permanent. So would you like to be in a permanent place or a non-permanent place? Vishal.
permanent.
Permanent. Yes, good answer. So this whole Bhagavad Gita actually is the science how we can actually move from the non-permanent to the permanent. Like right now, we are just stuck in this non-permanent state. You know, we take birth, we are growing old, we get
Old age,
disease, and we
death.
die. And then after we die, again,
The body.
the body. Again, the soul will take a new body, another body, right? Again, we go through all this.
Based on your karma from last life.
Correct. So this is the whole process. Like Vishal, who is so intelligent, he doesn't want to be in this non-permanent place, temporary place, you know. Why am I going through this cycle again and again? I want to go to the permanent place, right? That's a transcendental place. So how do we do that? By this process of Krishna consciousness. Make sense? Okay. Okay, so now Krishna is actually giving us this transcendental knowledge. Okay, how do we get out of this material world? Would you like to know, Vishal?
Yes.
Okay, so Krishna is saying this transcendental knowledge is not the first time I'm teaching this. This was actually taught to me. This was actually taught by me many times before. And this was taught to me, it was taught to the sun god, it was taught, to Vivaswan, Vivaswan then taught it to Manu, and then Manu instructed to Ishvaku, but that disciplic succession.
And also it started from Brahma.
Yes. And no, that disciplic succession, that was gone. So then again, he had to explain this whole session, and he taught it to many, many people. So all of you might know the 4 sampradayas, right? Sai Prabhu, can you share? You know the 4 sampradayas which we have. The Sri Sampradaya. So ours is the one which Prabhu, yes?
Brahma Sampradaya. Ours is Brahma Sampradaya, right?
Brahma, Madhya, Gaudiya
Sampradaya. Okay. Other one?
Yeah. Sri Sampradaya. You mean the Vaishnavism you're talking about?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Brahma Sampradaya. It's our ISKCON is following Brahma Gauda Vaishnavism, and
Yes.
Sri Sampradayam is the South India, the Ramanujacharya established, and there is a Rudra Sampradaya is also there, and the other one I'm not sure.
Nimbarka Sampradaya. So Krishna explained this to 4 different people. First was Brahma, and we are following in the Brahma's line, Brahmaji's line. And in Bhagavad Gita, you can actually see the full disciplic succession. How from Brahma all the way it's coming down to us.
So Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa,
and then all the way to Prabhupada.
and then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and then Prabhupada, and then comes to us.
Second sampradaya.
From Prabhupada's writing
Yeah.
in the Bhagavad Gita.
So second sampradaya is Sri Sampradaya. So Sri Sampradaya is Lakshmi Ji. So Krishna explains this to Lakshmi Ji. Third sampradaya is Rudra Sampradaya to Lord Shiva. So everybody who's following that lineage. And the fourth sampradaya is the Nimbarka Sampradaya, which is the 4 Kumaras. There were 4 Kumaras who are the sons
I've
of,
never heard of Nimbarka.
yeah, there are 4, the 4 Kumaras, right? Sanat, Sanatan,
Son of Kumar.
and 2 more, I forget their names, but you know, remember the
Wasn't
names?
there the son of Brahma?
And so in their sampradaya. So this transcendental knowledge, because Krishna is explaining that this is not new and this is something which gets broken, and that's why I come. And then Krishna says that I am never unborn. My body is transcendental. But why does he come?
To
This is
help
also,
us.
no, this is also very, very important. Whenever, let's see, who would like to read? Parth, you want to read?
Yeah.
Here, text number 7 here. You can look here.
Okay. Whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious practice, O descendants of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
So this also many of you must have heard, right? Yada yada hi dharmasya glane bhavati bharata abhyutama dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So this is what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying that I come, for that. And this is also very important to deliver the pious. So he does Krishna really have to come to actually annihilate the miscreants?
No. They can just from the spiritual world, Krishna will think about it and they'll vanish.
Right. But he actually comes for his devotees. He comes for his devotees because that gives him more pleasure, right? And to re-establish the principles of religion, he himself appears millennium after millennium.
What's millennium?
After every millennium. So we can read a little bit more.
What does millennium mean?
Millennium is a million of years.
1 millennium equal to 1,000 years.
1,000 years. And actually today we can stop here and we can discuss a little bit about the appearance. So today is a very, very special day. It is the appearance of Vamana Dev. Does anybody know the story of Vamana Dev?
I do.
Let's see. Vishal has a question, actually. Yes, Vishal.
What if Krishna leaves the spiritual world and comes to the material world?
You have very nice questions, actually. Krishna never leaves his spiritual world. So how do we understand that he actually appears in the material world?
He makes an expansion.
Yes, it's a very, very nice question, actually. So only his expansion comes down. Okay. And we can read all about that in a book called Laghu Bhagavatamrita. In the book called Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Krishna actually explains how he actually comes down.
How he comes down, like whenever he has to come down, like how he comes down.
Correct. Yeah. Very nice question. Thank you, Vishal. So now let us talk about the appearance of Krishna as Vaman Dev. So does Pranav, do you know the story? A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I know a little bit.
Okay, yes. And then we'll have Vivan and Parth maybe cover anything which is missed out. Okay, you can start.
So, wait, what I know, I don't know if I know a lot of it, but then, so Hiranyakashipu's, I think this might be a different version from the one.
That's a good start.
So it might be different from you guys. So then, Hiranyakashipu's brother, Hiranyaksha, I think, then he put the earth in the netherworld, and then he put the earth in the netherworld, And then Krishna appeared
No,
as,
that is a Varaha avatar.
yeah, sorry.
This is Bali Maharaj. You know, Bali.
So very it's in the right parampara.
So Hiranyakashipu sons is Prahlad son. Prahlad's sons is so his grandson. Prahlad's grandson is Vaman.
Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj is the
Bali Maharaj is the king of the demons.
correct.
So Vaman Dev appears and he goes to Lord Bali and says,
And he's carrying a water pot.
yeah, he's carrying a water pot
And an umbrella.
So and he's a dwarf brahmana, and he goes to King Bali and he goes and asks for 3 steps of land.
So this is how he looks.
Yeah.
He's a
But
dwarf,
he's carrying the water pot there and he's holding an umbrella.
an umbrella. Yep.
So he goes to King Bali and says, can I have 3 steps of land? His Guru Maharaj comes and says, don't listen to him. And
Before Vamandev came, he said,
don't listen to him. And then King Bali said that, oh, you only want 3 steps of land. His feet were so small since he was a dwarf. So and since he was the supreme personality of Godhead, he took 1 step, it covered the entire earth. The second step went so high that it pierced the golden egg that Vamandev was in, and the second step went on all the material universe.
And who's coming down?
Ganga.
Yeah, Mother Ganga comes down
On
because he pierces
the
the
golden egg.
right?
And
and Ganga's everywhere.
And then in the third step, he didn't have any more land to do, since the second step took over all the material universes. So King Bali said,
You can
on
see
the
King
third
Bali
step,
right here.
on the third step, he said,
Correct.
he put his head down and said, the third step you can put on my head.
Did this one.
So see, the third step he's putting
On
his head.
on his head.
Head.
And since he was he was getting proud, since he was the king of the demons, he pushed him all. Vamandev pushed him all the way down to Patal, which is the lowest part of the hellish planets.
So this is how Vamandev looked. Umbrella, water pot,
And conch,
disc, and conch. And look, you can see
King Bali.
King Bali.
He completely surrendered. And then what happened? Because he completely surrendered, what did Vamandev do?
He pushed him all the way down to the hellish planets.
But then he was pleased, right?
Yeah,
That Bali
so
Maharaj surrendered.
Yeah, so then later on, he became the doorkeeper of King Bali.
Which means protecting him.
He's still the doorkeeper. So today is a very, very nice day for us to remember Vamandev, and it is Vamanadev's appearance day.
With Adashi.
Okay, so we'll end the class on Narsingha Arti. Did anybody learn? Vishal, did you have a chance to learn? Okay, all right. We'll all sing together. Can you all see the screen?
Yes,
Okay.
I can see it.
Help me, Ravinder.
Okay, we'll all sing together. Okay. भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So I just also wanted to share a little bit. So these days are very, very auspicious days. You know, today is Vaman Dev's appearance day. Tomorrow is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's appearance day. And then on 19th, it is Ananta Chaturdashi Vrata. And then on Monday, we have
Which is 20th.
Bhadra Purnima. So Bhadra Purnima is a very, very auspicious day. And in Srimad Bhagavatam on Bhadra Purnima day, so there's, so Srimad Bhagavatam is basically, which was told to Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj is the grandson of Arjuna. So Arjuna's son was Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son was Parikshit, whose mother is Uttara. And Parikshit Maharaj, he got a curse from a Brahmana that he will die in 7 days.
And 7 nights.
Yeah, because he actually had he got a curse. He
put a snake around the sage's
Because
neck.
he was he was in the forest and he was very thirsty. So he went to a sage's ashram, I think.
Yeah.
And the sage was doing meditation. So
Shaunaka.
No, not Chanaka.
I thought it was Shaunaka.
and he tried to
Yeah. So he basically his son actually became very angry when he saw the dead snake on his father's neck, and he cursed Parikshit Maharaj that
Who did it? He cursed
whoever did
Did
it
it.
is going to die in 7 days by a snake bird, and the snake
7
bird's
days
name was
dies.
Shakshak. So as soon as Parikshit Maharaj heard this, he said,
he heard it.
like he got the news that he's about to die in 7 days. He said, he was very, very satisfied. Imagine if we get this news, we will be so much in trouble, right? Oh my gosh, what all do I have to do to take care of my kids? So many people are there. Okay, but so then he was so afraid. He was like, oh, what all do I have to do? But he was very, very peaceful.
we would be like that. Oh no, what do I have to do
So
now?
Parikshit Maharaj, then he went to Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami is the son of Vyasadeva, and he said that, please instruct me what is the purpose of my life. And then the entire Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukdev Goswami, his Guru Maharaj. So there are 12 cantos, and in the 12th canto, they say that on Bhadra Purnima day, if anybody either receives the Bhagavatam set or gifts the Bhagavatam set, you can make your life perfect. They say that you will go back home, back to Godhead. So it's a very, very special day. And, if you don't have the Bhagavatam, please consider taking a Bhagavatam or gifting a Bhagavatam to somebody, or even reading the Bhagavatam. And it's a very, very special day. So just wanted to share with all of you that all these days are very, very special. And, we should take advantage of these days. These are like when we have a sale, right? Discount sale going on, we try to take advantage of those days. So same way in Krishna consciousness, these are like our discount days. Okay.
Thank you for coming. Prabhuji, thank you for
Hare
coming
Krishna.
to our home and